I invite you to consider this. How many times have we seen a person seemingly holding the world in their hands, yet unable to touch the soul of another? The truth we often miss does not lie in what is seen, what is owned, or what is spoken with force. It resides in the silent currents that flow between us. Most walk through the world completely unaware of these small, potent gestures of presence that can create a space of profound connection. Today, I wish to share with you not secrets, but forgotten truths. These are not rules for a game you have heard 100 times. They are pathways to the center of your own being, drawn from the wellspring of ancient wisdom. By walking them, the way others feel you, see you, and remember you will transform, not because you are trying, but because you simply are. Imagine this. What if you could become attuned to the quiet language of the heart, a language most do not even know they are speaking? What if you could distinguish yourself not by standing out, but by standing within? Not by chasing, not by proving, but by understanding the stillness that allows another to feel seen, to feel safe, and to feel met in their own spirit. If we remain unaware of these pathways, we walk at a great disadvantage. We may miss the opportunity to cultivate the kind of resonance that allows another's heart to think of you long after you have departed. This is why I invite you to remain present until the end. The final path is the river into which all others flow. Once you understand it, you will never see the dance of connection in the same way again. Before we begin this journey, if you feel a calling to master this inner art, show your readiness. Let us walk this path together. The first path, the touch of stillness. Imagine you are with another. The words flow like a gentle stream. There is laughter, and yet you feel a distance. A pane of glass between two worlds. The connection feels incomplete. The person is engaged, but their spirit is not fully present with you. You part ways. You send a message into the void, and you are met with silence. What has occurred? Most men believe attraction is built with the bricks of conversation. But for the feminine spirit, connection is not a structure. It is a field of energy. It is felt. And there is a profoundly simple way to nurture this field touch. Not the touch of wanting, not the touch of taking, but the touch that says, I am here with you now, and I ask for nothing. One of the most overlooked invitations to connection is a simple, gentle touch offered before closeness. This sounds small, does it not? But its power is in its essence. For the feminine, an emotional opening must precede a physical one. A single, well-placed touch, offered without agenda, speaks a language that words cannot. It says, I see your being. I honor your presence. I wish for you to feel peace in my stillness. This is not about being a master of technique. It is about presence, about being so fully in the moment that your touch becomes a gift, making her feel relaxed, understood, and met not just in her body, but in her soul. The root of this practice is intention. If you are merely performing an action, it will feel empty. But if you are truly present, attending to the subtle response in her energy, she will feel you. An ancient teaching reminds us, do not waste time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Do not live in your head. Do not make it a formula. Simply be in the stillness of the moment and let your presence speak. Here is a difficult truth. Most men will never take the time to understand this. They will remain lost in the world of doing and miss the world of being. But the man who understands, he creates a space of deep, unforgettable connection. In a world of fleeting interactions, this path of intentional stillness is a rare sanctuary. When you master it, you become one of the few who understands that what the soul truly craves is not to be impressed, but to be met. The second path, the dance of lightness. Most misunderstand the dance of flirtation. They either push with great force, appearing heavy with need, or they pull back in fear, afraid to meet the other's energy. The truth is, the feminine spirit loves to dance, but only when it is invited with confident lightness and respect. A man who knows how to invite this dance is felt immediately, for he creates an energy that is alive without being demanding. This dance is not about clever words or hollow compliments. It is about keeping the space between you playful, light, and breathing. Think of it as a river. You guide the flow, she responds to it, but neither is ever forced. A simple way to invite this is through gentle teasing. It is a playful challenge that keeps the energy moving and creates a sense of joyful discovery. But more importantly, a true dance is not about seeking applause. The moment you begin performing, the dance dies. The feminine is drawn to the man who is at home in his own being, who can play without needing the world to validate him. My tradition teaches this. A man of high spirit does not flirt to win someone. He flirts because he enjoys the dance itself. He remains centered in his own energy, unattached to the response. Beyond words, the eyes and the body speak loudest. A confident gaze, then a small smile, a slow nod, a pause that holds the world for a moment. These speak with more power than any practiced line. Connection is not built with words. It is found in presence, in energy, in the effortless confidence of being. When you invite this dance from a place of fullness, not from a place of lack, she will feel it in her bones. So I ask you, are you dancing to be seen? Or are you dancing because you are filled with the joy of movement? Master this, and you will feel the great river of connection turn in your favor. The third path, the touch of attunement. Most men will never see this, but the feminine spirit remembers when a man knows how to touch her hair. When offered in the right stillness, it is one of those small, seemingly empty gestures that can create a moment of profound communion. But if done without heart, it can feel like an intrusion. The secret is held in understanding why it creates this opening. The scalp is a sensitive landscape, filled with currents that can stir deep emotional waters. A gentle, well-placed touch on her hair can send quiet yet powerful signals of closeness, of trust, of seeing. It is not about the physical sensation. It is the silent message. It can say, I see you, I am present with you, and I am attuned to your essence. But this is where most men stumble. They either rush the moment, or they act from a script, without any real feeling behind the gesture. Touching her hair is not about playing with it. It is about creating a sacred moment of closeness. Imagine, you are sitting with her, immersed in quiet talk, and in a perfect pause, you gently move a single strand of hair from her face. That one gesture, born of intention and quiet confidence, can say more than 1,000 words. The flow is everything. This is not something you offer to a stranger, or before the waters of connection have begun to warm. It finds its home when she already feels a safety with you, when there is a glow of warmth in the space between you. If her energy leans toward you, if she offers a smile that invites you closer, that is how you know the moment is breathing. The greatest misstep is to force this when her spirit is closed. This is why presence and awareness are the ground you must stand on. A core teaching from my lineage is about inner command and restraint. It teaches us to read the flow of a situation without acting on impulse, to be the master of our desires rather than being mastered by them. This means you do not reach out simply because you want to, but because the moment itself has opened, calling for connection. So the next time you are with a woman and the moment feels ripe with stillness, do not underestimate the power of a single, simple touch upon her hair. When offered with quiet confidence and true intention, it is one of those rare, unspoken prayers that leaves a lasting echo in the heart. The fourth path, the hand of quiet guidance. This may seem like a small ripple on a large lake, but in truth, its effects run deep. A simple, confident hand on the small of a woman's back, as you guide her through a busy space, or as you walk together, communicates something ancient and attractive: centered leadership, quiet confidence, and a circle of safety. And yet, almost all men either fail to see this moment, or they hesitate, lost in the prison of their own minds. The feminine spirit does not need loud demonstrations of strength to feel safe. She needs subtle, instinctual signals that a man is grounded, that he is present, and that he is capable of leading the dance. When you place your hand on her back in a calm, centered way, you send a message that you are in command of yourself and the space around you, without speaking a single word. This is not about being a master, nor about controlling another. It is about showing her, through a silent action, that you are there, that you are aware, and that you are moving with a quiet purpose. But here is where most men fall. They either pause for too long, filling the moment with doubt, or they act in a way that feels heavy and scripted. This is not about possession, nor is it about seeking a reward. It is about presence. When offered correctly, the touch is light but clear, brief but intentional, just enough for her to feel it and register your stillness in a way that feels as natural as breathing. Imagine, you are walking side by side toward a doorway. As you move slightly ahead to open the path for her, your hand rests for a moment on the small of her back, just enough to guide her forward without breaking her rhythm. It is a moment of silent leadership, a gesture that whispers to her subconscious that she is with a man who moves with certainty and intention. From the view of my tradition, this flows directly from self, mastery and emotional stillness. A great teacher once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." A man of spirit does not seek approval for his actions. He simply embodies a quiet strength, a deep awareness, and a silent command of his own energy. When you place your hand on her back, you are not asking for a reaction. You are simply being a man of presence and of gentle leadership. And that, in itself, is a powerful current. In a world where many men are either too timid or too forceful, mastering this simple yet potent gesture sets you apart as one who understands the sacred balance of strength and care. The fifth path, the way of the mountain. Let us quiet the noise for a moment and touch a truth. Every man feels, but few can name the deep. Silent pool to be a protector, to lead, to be a place of rest when the world turns to chaos. Not because she is weak, not because you seek to own her, but because it is carved into your masculine essence to shield, not to smother, to be a mountain, not to be a hunter. And here is what most men miss. The feminine spirit craves this. Not a guard for her body, not a king for her life, but a man who carries a presence that speaks without words. Your spirit is safe with me. And here is the turn in the path. You do not earn this honor through the power of your arms or the weight of your gold. You earn it through the strength of your stillness. You see, most men believe being her mountain means rushing in with answers, solving her troubles, telling her the way, fixing her storm as if it were a leaking roof. But the truth is, that is not what she asks. What she truly seeks is a man who can stand still while her own storm rages. A man who does not flinch when she is awash in emotion, who does not try to silence it, shrink it, or make it about him. She wants to know that you can hold her chaos without losing your own peace. Because when a woman is overwhelmed, in her mind, in her heart, in her body, she is not looking for another person to fix her. She is looking for a person who will not be moved by her storm, someone who does not try to run, someone who does not react, someone who stays, but stays grounded. That is what makes you her mountain. It is not loud. It is not bright. It is not a story for the movies. It is steady, quiet, unshakable. And the more she feels that stillness from you, the more she can relax into her own feminine flow, because she is no longer the one carrying the weight of the world. She is no longer leading the emotional charge. She can let go because she knows you hold the space for her, even when her heart is not an easy place to be. Now, let us be clear. Being her mountain means letting her feel her storm without you trying to fix it. It means listening with your whole being, not just your ears. It means keeping your own calm when she tests your borders, not to punish, but to prove that her waves will not break your shore. It means stepping forward in moments of confusion without explaining why. Your stillness becomes the signal. And here is the key. You become her mountain before she needs you to be. This means you do not simply react to storms. You prevent them with your energy. You set the emotional climate of the room. You walk with a rooted purpose. You speak with intention. And you do not need to say, "I will protect you," because the way you occupy your own space already says it. But let my words be clear. This is not about being her punching bag. Being a mountain does not mean you allow disrespect, chaos, or poison. It means you protect your own peace first, because a man who cannot protect his own inner stillness can never truly protect hers. This is why the old wisdom is so potent in matters of the heart. A wise sage said, "No man was ever wise by chance. You do not stumble into this way of being. You choose it, you build it, you embody it, not to impress her, not to prove a point, but because it is who you are, who you have become, who you must be to lead, not chase, to protect, not to prove." And here is the beautiful paradox. When you stand fully in that energy, she begins to see you in a new light. She softens, she opens, she trusts. Not because you rescued her, but because you showed her that she never had to rescue you. So, if you are done trying to earn connection with anxious action, if you are tired of being an emotional sponge just to keep her near, if you are finally ready to lead with a grounded spirit, then hold this thought in your heart. I protect with presence. Because the man she craves, the one she respects deep in her nervous system, is not the one who shouts the loudest. He is the one who does not move when the earth shakes, the one who listens without fixing, who holds space without fear, and who leads without losing himself. That is the man her spirit trusts. That is the man to whom she gives the gift of herself. That is the protector, not of her body, but of her peace in your presence. The sixth path, the mark of the earth. Let us speak of something that appears to live on the surface, but in fact draws its power from a much deeper well, the beard. To some, it is merely hair upon a face. To others, it is a sign. But to her, if you carry it from a place of truth, it can touch a part of her that feels almost primal. Now, I am not saying that every woman loves the bearded form. Some are drawn to a clear sky, some to a light mist, some to the fullness of the deep forest. But no matter the personal path, there is a reason the beard has always been a symbol of something elemental, something masculine, something of a quiet power. And the feminine spirit feels this, even if she cannot give it a name. Because the beard does not just change the landscape of your face, it changes how you are felt. And how you are felt is the whole of the matter. You see, a well-tended beard can signal a ripeness of spirit. It suggests experience. It carries an earthiness. It says quietly, this man has walked past the clearing of boyhood. He is not trying to impress. He simply is. And that's energy. That is a reflection of a stoic heart. That is a masculine root. That is the kind of presence that speaks more loudly than any words you can offer. Let us go a layer deeper. On a soul level, facial hair can represent dominion and depth, not the loud kind of dominion, the quiet kind. The kind that enters a room and does not need to be announced. It speaks through stillness, through presence, through attention. And when a woman feels a man with that presence, especially if he carries his beard with confidence and care, it resonates with something ancient within her. She sees safety, but she also feels strength. She senses a man who can both protect and provoke, someone not easily swayed by the winds of opinion, someone who walks his own path. But let us be clear, this is not about growing a beard to hide. A beard, when it is an authentic expression, is not just a look. It is a mirror of your discipline. It says, I care for my vessel. I pay attention to the small things. I invest in my own presence. Because a wild, untended beard does not speak of power. It speaks of neglect. But a clean, intentional beard, it says, I know who I am, and I am not afraid to embody it. Now, here is the subtle point few speak of. When a woman runs her fingers along your jaw, through your beard, she is not just feeling the texture. She is feeling something deeper. It is contact, but it is also contrast your ruggedness against her softness, her smooth skin meeting your edge. It is an experience for the senses, and it speaks without words. That is the part most men miss. A beard doesn't just change how you look, it can create polarity. And polarity is the engine of chemistry, not being the same, not comfort, but difference masculine and feminine, stillness and movement, strength and surrender. The beard, when joined with the right energy, becomes a tool to amplify that polarity, to make her feel more deeply in her own feminine essence, just by being near you. But again, it is not about the beard itself. It is about the man behind it. Because if your energy is weak, if your boundaries are soft, if you chase, explain, or pour yourself out, no amount of hair on your face will change how she feels you. But if you carry yourself like a man, silent when it is time for silence, selective with your energy, rooted in your purpose, then the beard becomes more than a style. It becomes a symbol of the man you have cultivated within, and that is where its power truly lies. Let us return to the ancient wisdom. A teacher once said, "First, know who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." You do not grow a beard to cover up a feeling of lack. You allow it to grow as an extension of your being. It does not make you strong. It reflects the strength you already hold. So whether you keep a clear face or let your roots show, do it with purpose. Do not follow the crowd. Do not copy a style. Lead with your own presence, and let all else be an expression of that. And if this truth lands in your heart today, if you understand now that masculinity is not just felt, but also seen, then let this be your meditation. I wear my strength. Because the man who knows who he is does not just grow a beard. He wears it like a quiet signal, a silent reminder to her that this is a man who does not need to prove anything. He already is. The seventh path, the gift of shared breath. Let me ask you this, my friend. When was the last time you truly shared laughter with a woman? I do not mean the polite kind, not the "you are funny" that is spoken from the mind. I mean the real, true, open-hearted laughter. The kind that makes her lean back and forget the weight of the world for a moment. The kind that makes her touch your arm without thinking. The kind that dissolves her armor without a single word of effort. Because here is the truth that most men never learn. Laughter is not just fun. It is intimate. It disarms. It flows past all the guardians of her mind. It skips past logic and lands directly in her spirit. You want to know the deep well from which this flows. When a woman laughs with you, her body releases oxytocin, the chemical of bonding, the same current she feels during gentle touch, during closeness, during trust. And in that moment, you are not just the man she is talking to. You are the man she feels safe with, the man who feels like coming home. Now, most men never learn to tap into this river. Why? Because they are so busy trying to be impressive, to say the what is right, to be strong, to be the mountain, to be mysterious. And all of those things have their place. But if that is all you are, she will feel respect, but not connection. She will see you as a statue, composed but cold. Laughter is what makes you unforgettable. It is the secret space, the breath between the moments of stillness, the instant when she realizes, this man makes life feel lighter. But here is what matters. It is not about being a performer. It is not about trying to entertain her. It is about knowing when to relax into the moment, when to offer a playful poke, when to let her tease you in return, when to not hold yourself so tightly. That is what creates the kind of chemistry that does not need touch to feel electric. Let me paint you a picture. You are out with her. It is quiet. The mood is calm. You notice something, a small moment no one else would see, and you make a dry, perfectly timed comment. Her lips curve. She tries to hold it back. She fails. And now you are both sharing the same breath of laughter. That moment right there, that is more powerful than the most perfect line. Because that moment was not scripted, it was yours. Shared, discovered, real. And the beauty of it is, she will remember that feeling later. Not your words, but the feeling. She will not remember the joke. She will remember how light she felt in your presence. And in a world that so often feels heavy to her, that is a powerful magnet. Now, here is how most men get it wrong. They believe laughter is weakness, that if they are not serious, they lose their power. But that is backwards. The man who can be light without losing his depth, he is rare. He is potent. He is irresistible, because he does not need to be on to hold his center. He knows that laughter does not shrink his masculine core. It expands it. It shows he is not threatened by the moment, that he is in command of his own energy, that even in stillness, he can create joy. Let us tie this back to the ancient way. A great master once said, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." But he also said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. In other words, your ability to reframe the world, to shift heaviness into ease, that is true power. And laughter is that shift. It is how you lead her energy back to joy, how you teach her that a man's strength does not always have to be heavy, that a mountain can have sunlight on its peak, that stillness can spark with life. So, if you have been carrying the weight of always being the serious man, if you have forgotten what it feels like to simply enjoy the dance with a woman without trying to control it, it is time to invite that lightness back, not to impress her, but to reconnect with it in yourself first. Because the man who laughs with her, not at her, not for her, but with her, that man builds something deeper than attraction. He builds an emotional home. And if that is the man you are becoming now, carry this truth: I lead with lightness. Because the man who makes her smile is the man she wants to be near, not just when life is a celebration, but when it is a struggle. Because laughter, my friend, is not just a sound, it is a signal. And when it is shared, it becomes a bond her mind cannot explain, but her heart will never forget. The eighth path, the fire of a distant star. Let us journey beyond attraction for a moment, beyond the touch, beyond the teasing, beyond the chemistry. Let us speak of something the feminine spirit craves, but rarely knows how to name: a man with a North Star. Not just a job, not just a goal, not just a map for tomorrow. I am speaking of a fire, a direction, a man who is not just living his life, but is being carved by it. Because here is the truth that most men look right past. Nothing draws a woman's spirit in more deeply than a man who is unapologetically walking towards something larger than himself. This is not about the gold you might find. It is not about the recognition from the world. It is not even about the North Star itself. It is about what your walk toward it says about you. It says you are alive. It says you are not a stagnant pond. It says you wake with a purpose. And that energy is a silent song the whole world can hear. You wish to know what the feminine spirit finds truly irresistible. It is the man who can look her in the eyes and say, I cannot stay long. There is work to be done. And he means it. Not because he is running from her, but because he refuses to lose himself to her. That is the secret. You do not win her heart by making her your world. You win her heart by focusing on your own path and allowing her to witness the fire in your eyes when you speak of it. And here is why this works. Because when a woman feels your direction, when she sees you are in motion towards something real, that you are not sitting and waiting for life to serve you, she respects you. She